mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
It is 70 fucking degrees out again, and we are sitting on November 12th, 2022. It's probably the warmest fall season that I could actually remember. It's like summer doesn't want to fucking end. No wonder why I got sick twice. But regardless of that, I'm here, the people are filing in, and I checked the mic and it damn sure sounds right, boy. And that could only mean that it's Saturday. You know what that means. We're live. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms. And I would like to welcome each and every single one of you to the greatest fucking show on earth. Streaming live on 4 different platforms across 6 different accounts. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle, Oh, wow. Woo! Do you smell that? You know what that is? That right there is the smell of pure excellence. Wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind, and this is the official Lightning Flash update for Saturday, November 12th, 2022. We got Raging Girl Gamer in the chat too. Yeah, this is what you're gonna get, baby. You're gonna get the full DJ Storms package. And you're damn right, I'm a big effing deal. But this is not my shirt. I can't take credit for it. I wish I could, but it's not my shirt. This is the t-shirt of the big deal Craig Steele, who competed at ISPW Survive last night, which is why I was not tweeting live for Rampage and SmackDown, because I was in Butler, New Jersey, watching a very entertaining independent show. So shout out to Craig Steele. He's awesome. I will be posting the vlog video from ISPW at some point within the next couple days. Just got to get everything together and edit it and all that other good shit. But I'm doing good. I'm feeling hyped. Got a nice, solid crowd. We got a nice, solid crowd here on this fine Saturday. We got the Final Horse. We got Raging Girl Gamer. We got Mitch Kofsky. We got DD. We got The Shooter. So shout out to everyone in the chat thus far. Wow. Telling you, the more that I do that, the more alive that I feel. It's what I do. Like Mark Henry, that's what I do. Anyway, we have a lot of material to get into, a lot of good material to get into, a lot of shit to go over. We're going to have a fun time, going to have a real good time, because you always have a good time with DJ Storms. I am the Sultan of Scintillation, the catalyst of charisma, the manipulator of mayhem, the history maker, the game changer, the dream crusher, Mr. Controversy himself, and the tastiest snack in all of the IWC. I make pretty deadly jealous. But we are going to talk about a lot of good material, including WWE scouting the independent scene again for talent. Braun Strowman makes a retard of himself, and he's got backstage heat, so fuck Braun Strowman in that regard. We're also going to talk about a potential main roster call-up. Logan Paul is injured. WWE is looking to restock the women's division, and Triple H reportedly has an idea of who is going to end the reign of the tribal chief over WWE as the undisputed Universal Champion. We're going to talk about that in depth. We got a lot of good material to get into, so you have come to the right place for all your wrestling analytical talk, your news, rumors, and reports, and a couple of weekly show reviews as per usual. So, before we get into what we're going to get into, a couple things. Number one, the next 2 weeks, there will be no Lightning Flash update. I got some family events going on. Next Saturday, the 19th, there will be no LFU. I will actually be in New York City, going to see a nice Christmas show. And on top of that, after I get back, I will be doing a rewind, though. I will be doing a rewind and a rundown for Full Gear. The rundown for Full Gear will take place on November 17th. That's a Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time with my guest, All Elite Mikey. He has come on my channel a couple times. He's a great guy. He is very entertaining in his own right. I actually saw him at Grand Slam, gave him a wristband, so shout out to Mikey. He's awesome. Then, of course, no LFU because I will be in New York City on the 19th, but I will be back in time for Full Gear, and I will be live tweeting and note-taking for Full Gear because I will be doing a rewind on November 20th. November 20th at 2 p.m. with Antonio Carrium, Wrestling Express originator. He's a Wrestling Express originator member. He is great at what he does in his own right, and we will be talking about everything that goes down next Saturday in Newark, New Jersey at Full Gear. And then, of course, Raging Girl Gamer, who's also in the chat right now, she is going to be on my channel on November 22nd. That is a Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. She is going to be on my channel, and we are going to be previewing and predicting the Survivor Series pay-per-view, which is shaping up to be a pretty damn good pay-per-view in its own right. That is going to be on the 22nd, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I will not be live for the LFU on Saturday, November 26th, before Survivor Series because I will actually be down the shore. I'm going to be down the shore for Thanksgiving, spending some time with family, relaxing, eating some turkey and mashed potatoes and stuffing and all that other good shit. I'm not going to do a rewind either because I just want to relax that weekend considering it is Thanksgiving week, and I just want to spend time with my family, just take a deep breath, and just sit on a couch, watch TV, eat some good food. That's all I want to do. That's all I need to do. But you guys can survive without me for a week. I will be back doing the LFU on I believe it is the 3rd of December. That will be December 3rd. That is a Saturday. So you could set your calendar dates for that date as far as the return of the LFU goes. Please make sure that you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HistoryMakerDJS. That is at HistoryMakerDJS. Both links are in the description as well as the link to my Facebook. You can add me on Facebook for collaborations and business inquiries. Please make sure that you send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Please make sure that you like the official DJ Storms business page. And I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook, that is. All the links are in the description. Go check them out right now. You can also check out Hardcore Sports. We are streaming live on the Hardcore Sports Twitch channel right down there at Hardcore Sports 1. We also have an Instagram page at Hardcore Sports Network, Twitter at Hardcore Sports N, which we are live on right now, YouTube channel right over here at Hardcore Sports Network, which we are live on as well. We are live on 6 platforms, 3 of the Hardcore Sports platforms. We are also on the DJ Storms Posse Facebook page, my Twitter, and my YouTube channel. So go and check those out as well. If you guys missed the rewind for WWE Crown Jewel 2022. I had Mac the Giants fan on the show. Mac the Giants fan, he is a member of the Hardcore Sports brand in his own right. He is very good at what he does. He joined me on the Sunday afternoon after Crown Jewel to talk about everything that went down last Saturday, which was actually a very good show from top to bottom. Really, really solid stuff from WWE in Saudi Arabia. And then, of course, shout out to Earl Cole. I'm sure we'll see Earl Cole at some point in this chat. Earl Cole had me on his channel on Thursday. And we dissected everything that went down at Crown Jewel. So I gave him my thoughts on Crown Jewel, and we dissected everything that went down on Dynamite this past Wednesday. So there will be no Dynamite review in this Lightning Flash update. If you want to go check out the Dynamite portion of the DJ Storm's analytical perspective, you want to go check out my Dynamite analysis and my thoughts on what happened on Wednesday, you can go check out the link. It is in the description. My appearance on the Wrestling Experience with Earl Cole. Great as per usual, because Earl Cole is an absolute beast. Please make sure, if you haven't already done so, that you are liking the stream. I don't know what the fuck you're doing if you're coming in here and you are not liking the stream. Matter of fact, I'm very disappointed in you if you're coming in here and you're not liking the stream. You come on in here, you like the stream, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be on YouTube or Twitch. Like it and share it out on all social media platforms, including Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media platforms that you may be using. It is vital that you share everything out. That way we can get as many people in here as we possibly can. So share out the stream no matter where you are watching from. Please make sure, if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button. Helps me out, helps the Hardcore Sports brand out, helps everyone out, because that way you guys will be notified whenever I post a new video. And of course, whenever I go live, that way we can get as many people in here as possible. More people leads to more subs, leads to more likes, leads to more eyes, leads to more attention for DJ Storms, because I am exactly what I say I am. I am the best in the motherfucking business. No one can touch me. And of course, you got to hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, baby, it is the best time to be on YouTube, because it's the only time that you won't get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination and this beautiful mustache right here. Earl Cole's not in the chat yet, but we're going to light it up anyway, because this is what we do. We are going to light it up right here on the channel with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of Because like Campbell's chicken noodle possibility, just like a fresh plate of sushi with seafood salad, fried calamari, and shrimp tempura with some grilled shrimp too, because let me tell you something, when you're talking about a seafood buffet, you got to have some grilled shrimp in there. Just like a nice seafood buffet, just like some baked clams, just like mussels, just like lobster bisque. I'm just so good. Everybody, and I mean everybody, wants a piece of the Storm's Meister. You already know the drill. Anyway. Another chit-chat, enough of the self-brand promotion and the advertisements. We are going to get straight into the festivities here. We got a lot of material to dissect, and let us start with a rather positive report from Brian Alvarez. According to Brian Alvarez, WWE has started independent scouting once again. So they are currently scouting the independent scene, including, which I believe was Gabe Sapolsky. He returned to Power, and he was actually at a Defy independent wrestling event not too long ago. I believe it may have been 1 to 2 weeks ago, and he was scouting talent over there. This is a great thing. This is a wonderful thing. I have been waiting for this for a long, long time, because I've said it from day one. The NIL program that brings in these non-wrestlers to try and turn them into wrestlers it is an absolute waste of time. Out of a crop of 100 talent, you will maybe find 1 or 2 individuals that will go on to have a decent amount of success. They're not even going to be main eventers, but they will have a decent amount of success. It is a very dangerous game that you're playing, not just from a business perspective, but also from an injury perspective. How many of these individuals are going to take to it like you want them to be able to take to it? Can't even fucking speak today. How many of these individuals are going to take to it like you want them to take to it? Not many. Not many. We need independent professional wrestlers. Because independent professional wrestling, it is the fucking lifeblood of pro wrestling in 2022. Without the independence, professional wrestling would be dead. Professional wrestling would be completely fucking dead. WWE wouldn't exist. AEW wouldn't exist. New Japan wouldn't exist. Impact wouldn't exist. None of this shit would exist. Independent professional wrestling is the lifeblood of pro wrestling in this modern generation. So at the end of the day, the fact that they're indie scouting again, this is a great thing because now we can finally get back to some sense of normality in the WWE. We can do away with all that Vince McMahon bullshit and all those shitty mentalities that Vince McMahon forced upon everyone. And pretty much he threw down the hammer and was pretty much a maniacal tyrant in the WWE. This is just Triple H doing yet another thing to erase the Vince McMahon stench. And this is a great thing because now with WWE scouting the independent professional wrestling scene, this is going to open up the door to so many individuals that deserve the opportunity to be in front of a major scale, but haven't gotten that opportunity for numerous amounts of reasons, whether it be because AEW is too crowded or WWE is not scouting independent professional wrestling talent because Vince McMahon is a fucking retard. But now that they're scouting independent professional wrestlers, once again, it is going to open up a whole new world of opportunities for so many professional wrestlers, and it is going to help WWE in the long run. They are going to find their next big stars on the independent scene, not the NIL program. I just hope that the NIL program goes away completely. It's pretty much on the back burner right now, but I'm really just hoping it goes away completely. It was a fucking failure right from the start. It was a failure before it was even a thought in Vince McMahon's mind. Moving on to something that I really wasn't expecting to talk about, and I really wish I wouldn't be talking about this, but I have to because it was just so fucking ridiculous, and there was no reason why this should have happened. Braun Strowman, he decided to take to Twitter the day after Crown Jewel and make a complete retard of himself. So Braun Strowman, we all know he has a history of being a fucking retard. We all know he has a history of being an asshole. We all know that Braun Strowman has a history of trolling individuals on social media because he thinks it's cool. But I'll tell you this, if you are a troll and you are just trying to purposely troll people on social media just to get a reaction, you're not cool. You're not cool at all. You are a sad, pathetic excuse for an individual. You really are. And that's exactly what Braun Strowman is. He tweeted out on Sunday, and I quote, "Holy hell at the Giant Omos. Can you believe we had a 47-star match and reminded people that no one cares about all these floppy floppers, giants and monsters, and then the greater sign to flippy flippers, bag your groceries at Kroger, hashtag airport test, hashtag sizzles the prize, hashtag swole is the goal." And people began ripping Braun Strowman a new asshole, rightfully so. People such as Ricochet, people such as Mustafa Ali, Chris Jericho even jumped on into it. And then Braun Strowman saw this backlash. He actually had to backtrack on Twitter, and he responded publicly to all this backlash with, and I quote, "Yo, all my brothers and sisters in the locker room, no matter where you came from, I have mad respect. We all have worked very hard to be where we are. And all are here for a reason. Take a joke, IWC. Y'all come at me nonstop. And the second I fire back, y'all melt. End quote. Let me take a sip of my ice water. First off, let's go to the second tweet. He goes, take a joke, IWC. Y'all come at me nonstop, and then the second I fire back, y'all melt. We come at you nonstop. I'm sorry, but have you been paying attention to what's been being said on social media, Mr. Adam Scher? Correct me if I'm wrong, but the majority of the IWC has been nothing but welcoming since you came back. The majority of the IWC has actually been praising your work, myself included. I praised your match against Otis. I praised your match against Chad Gable. I even went so far as to say that you deserve better than fighting Omos. I was going out of my way to defend you because I thought that you actually got better. You got a little better in the ring. You got a little better on the mic. You got yourself into great physical shape. I don't think the majority of the individuals here in the IWC actually mind that you're back in the WWE. You're not a detriment to the show at all. You're not a big main event guy. You're not a big main event star, but you're not doing anything bad to piss anyone off. So where is this backlash that you're talking about? I have seen nothing but overwhelming positivity for Adam Scher since he's come back to the WWE. Where is this notion that he's being attacked? Where is this notion that he's being attacked? I see none. If someone could point it out to me, I would love to fucking know. Really, I would love to know. Secondly, take a joke, IWC. Listen, I am all for a good joke. I'm a very goofy individual myself. I was joking with Raging Girl Gamer this past Tuesday. Me and Raging Girl Gamer were having a conversation this past Tuesday over a video chat, and we were fucking laughing our ass off at some stupid shit. We were laughing our ass off with stupid shit that I was doing, with stupid shit that I posted with my We Will Rock You song, and we were laughing at stupid shit on YouTube and viral videos. I know a joke, and I'm all for a fucking joke. But a joke, Mr. Strowman, a joke does not openly bury your coworkers. A lot of the people that share the same locker room as you, some of the individuals who have actually led you to some of the best matches of your career, i.e. Seth Rollins. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Seth Rollins ain't exactly 7 foot, 350 pounds of fucking muscle. Seth Rollins could be considered a floppy flopper or a flippy flipper or a flippy flopper flipper do, whatever the fuck you want to say. I swear to God, you're even speaking like a retard. He even tweets like a fucking retard. Seth Rollins could be considered one of these flippy flippers, and he led Braun Strowman to one of the best matches of his career back at Clash of Champions in 2019. I remember that match actually being a very entertaining match overall. Probably one of Braun Strowman's best performances. But no, you want to go out and openly bury your coworkers just for the simple fact that, oh yeah, I want to joke, I want to troll everyone. And obviously in the comment section, you could tell that he was trolling. He wasn't really being serious, but he was trolling. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say it once, I'll say it again. If you are openly trying to troll people, if you are openly going out of your way to troll people on social media for fun and try and joke around in that manner, you have absolutely no life whatsoever. I don't even know where it's fucking coming from. What reason? I would love to fucking know. What reason did Braun Strowman have in tweeting this shit other than the fact that he just wanted to be a dick? What reason did Braun Strowman have in tweeting this shit other than he just wanted to be a dick? You don't see me going on social media and bashing the people that I work with at my accounting job. You don't see me going on social media and saying, oh yeah, this individual can't work, this individual does shit too slow. You don't see me doing that. I never do that shit. Why would I? I have no reason to do that shit. If I did that, I would just be being an asshole. Braun Strowman, he just wanted to be an asshole. And might I also add that your match with Omos was the worst match on the card. Easily the worst match on the card. And you know why? I'm not even going to blame you, but Omos sucks. Omos sucks. Omos is terrible. You can rag on all of these independent professional wrestlers and these floppy floppers. And you know what? You know what I find funny? You know what I find funny? He's pretty much mocking Dave Meltzer as well. Why is Dave Meltzer on your mind? 47-star classic. That's a Dave Meltzer thing. Why is Dave Meltzer on your mind on a Sunday at, 11 a.m. in the fucking morning when you tweeted this shit? Why the fuck is Dave? Why do you have wrestling journalists and podcasters on your mind? You realize how many people fucking talk about me? You realize how many negative messages that I've gotten and how much shit that I can't stand from all these fucking people in the IWC? I fucking hate Grimm's Toy Show. I hate Grimm's Toy Show. I hate John Alba. I hate Brian Zane. Sean Ross Sapp, I'm slowly warming up to, even though he still sent me nasty DMs not that long ago. But at the end of the day, I'm not a fan of any of these individuals. I think John Alba is a fucking liberal retard. I think Brian Zane is just as dumb as John Alba. Grimm's Toy Show is a fucking man-child. He's stupid. But I'm not going to come on here in the middle of the fucking day at 11 a.m. and just try and tweet some shit about them because I'm thinking about them. I don't have these individuals on my mind. You know how much shit that I got to do? I may be 23 years old, but I got a lot of fucking shit that I got to do throughout my day to make sure my life's in order. Whether it be my accounting job, whether it be taking my notes here, whether it be my personal life, my family, whether it be going out to wrestling events, whether it be going out to dinner with friends, whatever it may be. I got 1,000 different other things to worry about to a point where Brian Zane isn't even a thought in my brain. Grimm's Toy Show isn't even a twinkle in my eye. Where the fuck is Braun Strowman coming up with Dave Meltzer for no reason? Why does he have Dave Meltzer on his mind at X amount of at 11 a.m. in the fucking morning? Well, why is he doing this? I don't get it. If you have someone like a Dave Meltzer, if you're that bothered by someone, then you know what? You have to be the most insecure son of a bitch I think I have ever seen. You have to be the most sensitive fuck I think I've ever seen. For a 6'8", 300-pound monster of all monsters, he sure is a fucking thin-skinned pussy. What a joke. It's like he's learned nothing. And you know what? There's backstage heat on Braun Strowman. Good. I actually hope that since he's in the SmackDown World Cup, I actually hope that he loses to one of these flippy flippers, even though Braun Strowman winning and fighting Gunther would probably be a very entertaining match, and we're probably going to get that match at some point. But I actually do hope that Triple H saw this and he has Braun Strowman beat one of these, or he has Braun Strowman lose to one of these flippy flippers. I really do. What a joke. Think before you fucking tweet. Think before you tweet. Braun Strowman needs to take a good hard look at himself in the mirror, and he needs to fucking check himself. He needs to get his shit in order. Because you know what? If he continues up with this shit, he is just going to continue getting reprimanded, or he's just going to continue getting reprimanded. He's just going to continue getting all this shit and all this heat to a point where he's going to be in the exact same boat that he was in before he got fired. That was one of the many things that turned people off to Braun Strowman. What a joke. Completely fucking unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. Shouldn't even have happened. A fucking joke. A legit joke. Looks like Shane McMahon was right. Braun Strowman is a fucking dumbass. Again, I'm still trying to figure out, where is all this negative backlash that Braun Strowman was getting? The only negative backlash that he's been getting since he's been back is what he did here. He was getting zero negative backlash before this tweet. And he just decided to spark up a fire. He just decided to open up a huge-ass can of worms. He decided to pull a pin on a grenade and just watch it explode around him. Moving on. Moving on here to a report from Fightful. on the more positive side, WWE is planning to restock the women's division, according to Fightful. And we have actually seen this play out over the course of the last 3 to 4 months. We've seen the return of Dakota Kai, the main roster call-up of Io Sky, the return of Emma, the return of Shotzi Blackheart's Tank. We've seen Mia Yim come back. Rhea Ripley has taken a pretty major role in Judgment Day, and she has really been killing it in that role. Body slamming Luke Gallows, taking care of AJ Styles. Now, more than likely, she's going to get a big match on Survivor Series. We've seen Raquel Rodriguez and Shotzi mix it up with Damage Control. We've seen Roxanne Perez come up to the main roster to give her a little main roster feel, a little main roster taste against Bayley and Damage Control. Bianca feels like a legit women's champion. So the women's division is starting to come together very nicely. Chelsea Green is reportedly coming back. So you know what? I am very, very pleased to hear this. I'm very pleased to hear this. Sasha, Naomi, they're all but confirmed. Nikki Cross came back as Nikki Cross. No more of this Nikki ASH bullshit. So the women's division, it's coming together very, very nicely. They're starting to build up some more storylines in the women's division. They are starting to really round everything out. And I'm very much liking what I'm seeing as far as the women's division goes, minus the booking of Damage Control and Ronda Rousey. Minus that shit. I do believe that we will be on the verge of Shayna Baszler taking the title off of Ronda Rousey. We'll be talking about that a little bit later on. But as far as what we have right now, it's not there yet. But it's coming together very nicely. And I'm very, very pleased to see that Triple H is really making an effort to rejuvenate and restock the women's division after it was absolutely gutted over the course of X amount of years. Russell votes. This actually made me fucking laugh. This made me laugh, and not in a good way. I don't know what WWE and Triple H are smoking down in Orlando, but apparently Russell Votes reported that WWE and Triple H feel that Cora Jade has the makings to become the next Sasha Banks. Yes, you heard me correctly. Triple H and WWE feel that Cora Jade has the makings to be the next Sasha Banks. I want everyone to answer me this honestly. For those of you that have watched NXT, for those of you that watch NXT, which I'm pretty sure it's almost none of you, I have to watch NXT just to make myself aware. I don't review it because fuck NXT, but I make myself aware. Has anyone actually sat down and watched Cora Jade wrestle? I want people to answer me that honestly. Has anyone actually paid attention to the way that Cora Jade wrestles? Have you? Because I have, and whenever I watch Cora Jade wrestle, I am smart enough to realize that this woman sucks. Cora Jade is undoubtedly one of the worst professional wrestlers in the industry as we speak. So much so that Alexa Bliss is actually outperforming her. And you already know how much I fucking hate Alexa Bliss right down to my core. I cannot stand Alexa Bliss, but even I have to give credit where credit's due. Alexa Bliss has actually been working her ass off to try and get better. She's been trying to work her ass off to get better, and she actually put on a very good match at Crown Jewel alongside Asuka against Damage Control. But Cora Jade, this woman has been with NXT for over a year, right? And I have seen absolutely zero improvement. And if you're telling me that there has been improvement, right now, you are lying. You are absolutely fucking lying through your yellow teeth. Every single time I see Cora Jade wrestle, did you watch her match with Roxanne Perez at Halloween Havoc? That woman was swinging weapons as if she was in a fucking pillow fight, as if she was 16 years old, having a fucking slumber party with her friends. This woman has the weakest offense in the wrestling industry as we speak. I used to teach karate back when I was like 14, 15. I used to be an assistant teacher over there. I taught the 5 to 9-year-old class, right? I taught the 5 to 9-year-old class, and I swear to God, I have felt the way that they hit harder than Cora Jade hits. My 15-year-old sister hits harder than Cora Jade, and she's not even a pro wrestler. She's not even an athlete. She's not even an athlete in that regard. Cora Jade, she wrestles as if she doesn't even want to be there. She wrestles as if she doesn't even want to hurt her opponent. You're having a blood feud with Roxanne Perez, a woman who was your best friend on TV and off TV, and now you're fighting her. Now you're fucking fighting her, and it's like you don't even want to fucking punch her. Yet Cora Jade has the makings of the next Sasha Banks. What are they fucking smoking down there? What drugs are they on? What medication is Hunter Hearst Helmsley on for his heart? Because I think they're starting to have an effect on his brain. Where the fuck did this even come from? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where did this even come from? She may have a decent look. She may be a decent little promo. But when it comes to 2022, if you ain't fucking wrestling, then you know what? I don't want anything to fucking do with you. If you ain't a fucking professional wrestler, there's the fucking door. Get the hell out of here. Next Sasha Banks. Are they retarded? Are they retarded? Sasha Banks, within her first year, was operating at a higher level than Cora Jade is right now. Until I see Cora Jade put on a match that is at least 1/50th of what Bayley and Sasha at TakeOver Brooklyn 1 was, I am not going to sit here and say that Triple H and WWE know what they're talking about, because they don't. They don't. Cora Jade has not had a match that has even been in the same breath as the term women's wrestling. She is not a women's wrestler. She is a cosplay professional wrestler. And you know what's actually pretty fucking sad? The fact that she dated Blake Christian, and right now she's dating Braun Breaker, and you've seen the progression of Braun Breaker. Yet Cora Jade, it's almost like she's going backwards. This is just fucking sad at this rate. I realize you're trying to build the next generation of superstars, but I mean, holy fuck. I can name you 3 different people. I can name you 4 different people. Hell, I can name you 4 different people that can be considered the next Sasha Banks, and Cora Jade is not one of them. Nikita Lyons, she's still got a long way to go, but even she's ahead of Sasha Banks. Nikita Lyons, Zoe Stark, Roxanne Perez, Tiffany Stratton, all of them are ahead of Sasha Banks. Not Sasha Banks, Cora Jade. All of them are ahead of Cora Jade. They can be considered the next Sasha Banks if they are booked correctly. Zoe Stark, if you ask me, Zoe Stark is the best pro wrestler out of every single individual on the NXT roster right now. Zoe Stark is the best overall professional wrestler. Her offense is crisp. Her offense is stiff. Her offense is on point. She's very fluid in the ring. If you'd want to talk about next Sasha Banks, I'm looking at Zoe Stark. Cora Jade next Sasha Banks. What a joke. I don't know what's even more sad, what Braun Strowman did or what Triple H and WWE are saying about Cora Jade. I don't even know which one's more sad. Jesus Christ. Logan Paul. Logan Paul confirmed that on Twitter he was indeed injured during his match at Crown Jewel against Roman Reigns. He was injured halfway through the match, which I believe it may have been on the buckshot lariat. It may have been on the buckshot lariat when he did that flip over the top rope and hit that lariat on Roman Reigns. His legs didn't exactly land in the best position. So I think that's probably where the injury happened. But Logan Paul confirmed that he had a torn meniscus, a torn MCL, and potentially a torn ACL, and this would put him out of action until June. Now, I understand people's concerns, and trust me, I'm concerned about Logan Paul as well. He put on a fantastic performance. I can't say enough positive things about Logan Paul and what he did. But at the end of the day, if we're going to talk about the overall grand scheme of things, it's probably the best scenario that Logan Paul goes away for a little bit. He doesn't really need to be in the WWE at every single Big Four pay-per-view. He could take a little break every now and then. He doesn't need to be at the Rumble. He doesn't need to be at WrestleMania. So have him come back in June and build towards a match at SummerSlam. It's not going to be an issue whatsoever. It's not going to be an issue at all. So you know what? I absolutely have no issue with Logan Paul taking a little vacation. And I hope that he comes back stronger than ever. I wish him a speedy recovery. I got some news on some gimmick pay-per-views. I know that WWE has laid down a rule that there will be less gimmick pay-per-views throughout the 2023 calendar year. It was revealed by United States Patent and Trademark Office, the USPTO, that WWE has filed a trademark on November 2nd for the term TLC, tables, ladders, and chairs. This will be used for merchandising and entertainment purposes. As previously reported, Triple H will be nixing the Hell in a Cell Premium Live event. However, it seems as though the TLC event could indeed be staying. End quote. Now, I don't have an issue with this at all. And I've talked about this numerous amounts of times, and I'm going to continue to say it over and over again. And I do believe that the majority of the IWC feels the same way. It's not the gimmick pay-per-views that we hate. It's not the gimmick pay-per-views that we hate. It's the fact that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard, they just completely disregarded them, and they didn't put any effort into them. The problem is the fact that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard threw out these gimmicks and made them into pay-per-views just to fill in the gaps in between the Big Four pay-per-views. And they just put them on the calendar and they just let them be. They just let them be and they put no effort into them. And the entire WWE calendar year pretty much became one and the same. Royal Rumble, we're WWE, they're going to watch. WrestleMania, they're WWE. They're gonna watch. We don't need to do anything. Oh, Hell in a Cell, no effort. It sells itself. Oh, Extreme Rules, we'll put one Extreme Rules match on the show. It sells itself. Same thing. Every fucking pay-per-view, every fucking, it's Monday Night Raw. We're already getting paid all this money by Peacock. We don't need to do anything. That was the Vince McMahon mentality. Zero effort. Take the money and just throw out a couple of matches and feuds and call it a wrestling show or call it a pay-per-view. That was it. There was absolutely no effort being put into anything. And that was the overall thing, the overall mentality that just killed gimmick pay-per-views. So if they still want to do a TLC pay-per-view, I got no issue with that. I don't give a shit if they do one pay-per-view a year, 4 pay-per-views a year, 12 pay-per-views a year. I don't give a shit if you call it Extreme Rules, if you call it TLC, if you call it shitting in the toilet, if you're calling barfing up mac and cheese. I don't give a shit what the fuck you call the pay-per-view. All I care about is if you give me a decent wrestling show. So if they want to keep TLC, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I don't care. As long as you give me a good show. long as you give me a good show, there will be no complaints coming from me about the name or the gimmick of the pay-per-view. No issue with this whatsoever. Bandito. He took on Roosh yesterday evening on Rampage in a world title eliminator tournament in which he beat Roosh in a very good match, very fun match. According to the Wrestling Observer Radio, Bandito has officially signed an AEW contract. And one of the biggest factors is because if he was to sign with WWE, he would have to relocate to the United States. He did not want to do that because he has a family in Mexico, and he did not want to have to relocate. But with AEW, he doesn't have to work every single week. He's not going to have to relocate to the United States, and he can still visit his home country of Mexico, and he could still be with his family. And that was pretty much it. So Bandito ultimately decided to sign an AEW contract. I got no issue with that. I think Bandito is fantastic. And he's only 27 years old. He's only 27 years old, and he is going to be a huge player if they play their cards right. I see potential All-Atlantic champion in him. I see potential TNT champion in him. I see potential ROH superstar in him. There's a lot of things you could do with Bandito. He's very versatile. So Bandito signed an official AEW contract. I like it. I got no issue with it. John Cena. Dee Dee's probably marking out behind her screen right now at the mention of that name. According to multiple sites, including WrestleVotes and Ringside News, they both reported that John Cena is indeed expected to be at WrestleMania 39 in SoFi Stadium next year. Steve Carrier of Ringside News confirmed that Cena has spoken to Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and Nick Khan about doing something at WrestleMania. Now, I don't know what exactly that is. I don't know what exactly that is at all. But if I'm going to make an assumption, I would probably say it would probably have something to do with Austin Theory. It would probably have something to do with Austin Theory, and it would probably have something to do with how Austin Theory has been pushing for a match with John Cena. We all thought it was going to be at SummerSlam this year. That did not happen. More likely than not, it's probably going to happen at WrestleMania, which I have absolutely no issue with. That's probably the best route to go for John Cena and Austin Theory, too, after what you did to Austin Theory this past Monday on Raw. I got a lot of shit to say about that. Don't worry, we're going to rant about that shit. But John Cena is reportedly set to be at WrestleMania 39. I don't have an issue with it as long as they use him in the right capacity, which I do believe that they will, and he will put over a young star like Austin Theory. Speaking of young stars, Cameron Grimes, he's a young star that a lot of people see as one of the next top-tier baby faces in the WWE. Ringside News has confirmed that one name that has been in major discussion of getting called up to the main roster is Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes recently lost to Joe Gacy this past Wednesday on NXT, and it almost signified the end of his run on the NXT brand. Now, I have been a Cameron Grimes advocate for a long, long time. I've been loving Cameron Grimes ever since he first came into NXT. He's very good at what he does. He's great at what he does. And I'm very interested in seeing what Cameron Grimes is all about and what they plan on doing with him. Cameron Grimes has been one of the best aspects on NXT throughout all of the USA Network era on NXT, throughout all of the NXT 2.0 era, and now going into 2023 with the end of his run in NXT apparently coming, Cameron Grimes has been a very, very consistent act. He's a great promo. He's got a great look. He's like the hick version of Daniel Bryan. He can legitimately have a great match with a fucking broomstick. I cannot tell you. I could legitimately count over and over again how many great matches this man has had. This man's had a great match with Matt Riddle, with Dominik Dijakovic, with Keith Lee, Johnny Gargano, LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, and Solo Sikoa, and Nathan Fraser. Everyone. Duke Hudson. It is unbelievable how good Cameron Grimes really is. Cameron Grimes is undoubtedly one of the best acquisitions from Impact that WWE's ever gotten. Cannot say enough positive things about Cameron Grimes. And Cameron Grimes, if he gets called to the main roster, this is going to be a great fucking move. If you're asking me, I'm putting Cameron Grimes on Monday Night Raw. I'm putting Grimes on Monday Night Raw. You could get some really great mileage out of Cameron Grimes on Monday Night Raw. Lots of great matches on the horizon with Cameron Grimes on Raw against the likes of Owens and Theory, Lashley, Mustafa Ali, Johnny Gargano, Seth Rollins. So if you're asking me, put Grimes on Raw, you put him in the United States Championship title hunt, we get a Match of the Year candidate with Seth Rollins. That's what I'm looking at. So Cameron Grimes getting called to the main roster. Good. Good. I can see him in the Royal Rumble. And I actually hope he is in the Rumble. Praise be to God. Praise be to God, because the 24/7 title has officially been removed from the active title section on WWE's website. The 24/7 title is no more. Nikki Cross became the biggest fucking hero on Monday Night Raw when she threw the title in the trash. And my God, isn't it a wonderful fucking thing to see? I'll tell you what else is a wonderful thing to see. Lisa Warlow decided to jump in the chat. How you doing, babe? How you doing? 24/7 title is gone. Good riddance. It should have never been a thing. We will miss you never. We will miss you never. And my big report, before we get into the weekly show reviews, we'll be going over Raw, SmackDown, and Rampage. Again, if you want to check out my Dynamite analysis, go check out the Wrestling Experience with Earl Cole. The link is in the description. WrestleVotes told GiveMeSport.com that Triple H already has an idea of who will end Roman's title reign. They stated, and I quote, "They have an idea of who is going to beat Roman. I don't know specifically if it's Cody. I don't know if it's The Rock. I don't know if it's Bray Wyatt. But I think there's a handful of guys that they would say, all right, this makes sense for future. But I don't think it's happening anytime soon, to be honest with you." End quote. Now, we all know that The Rock is not beating Roman. That's never going to happen. The match itself, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. To be quite honest with you, I would not do that match. If you're asking me, that ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. If you were going to do that match, then it should have been at WrestleMania 37 or WrestleMania 38. Or hell, if you wanted to, you could have done it for SummerSlam in Nissan Stadium in Nashville. You could have done that. The Rock's not beating Roman. But there are a couple of options. Bray Wyatt is obviously an option. Cody Rhodes is obviously an option. Hell, Braun Breaker is an option. Braun Breaker even came out stating that he would love to face Roman Reigns, that he wants to beat Roman Reigns. They could do it with Braun Breaker. I don't know how long that's going to be until Braun Breaker's legitimately ready, but I mean, that's a big fucking accomplishment for a guy like Braun Breaker, and that would make Braun Breaker into a fucking superstar for sure. However, I understand the mentality of a Bray Wyatt. I understand the mentality of a Braun Breaker. But if you're asking me who is the best individual to beat Roman Reigns, I've been saying it for a while. Hell, I even said that it should have happened at SummerSlam before Cody got injured. And I pretty much gave it away right there. Bray Wyatt is not the man to beat Roman Reigns. He is not the correct individual. Cody Rhodes is the correct individual, not Bray Wyatt. I'm not saying I hate Bray Wyatt. I love Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is great. Does Bray Wyatt deserve another world title run and another opportunity? Yes, but this is not the right time. Bray Wyatt has already been in that position. Cody Rhodes has never been in a position like that. Cody Rhodes and the story of Cody Rhodes fighting Roman Reigns writes itself. He returns at the Royal Rumble, and then he wins the Rumble, fights Roman at WrestleMania, and gets the crowning achievement that he should have gotten in his first initial run with WWE before they fucked him over. Cody Rhodes is the right individual to do it because the story of Cody Rhodes winning the Rumble and beating Roman at WrestleMania to win his first world title, that story is not going to be overthrown. No matter how over Bray Wyatt is, he is not the right guy to do it as we speak. Bray Wyatt as the world champion can wait. It can wait a long time. Cody and everything that WWE has done with Cody, hell, even Vince McMahon, I got to give Vince McMahon credit. I got to give Vince McMahon just a little bit of credit. He booked Cody Rhodes perfectly. He booked Cody Rhodes perfectly before he inevitably had to retire and Cody Rhodes got injured. Cody Rhodes was booked perfectly under Vince McMahon before he got injured and tore his pec completely off the bone. Cody and everything that Cody was doing, Cody came in and he was easily the most over babyface in the entire WWE. That position has since been filled by Sami Zayn and potentially when Kevin Owens comes back, Kevin Owens. But Sami Zayn right now is the most over babyface act in the WWE as we speak. Cody, when he comes back, he's going to get a thunderous reaction. You need to capitalize on that thunderous reaction. And I don't care how you do it, how you spin it, what excuses you want to make. There is no other route to go about it. Cody wins the Rumble. Cody fights Roman at WrestleMania. Cody wins. Cody wins, and then at a later date, then you can build towards Cody Rhodes versus Bray Wyatt for the WWE Undisputed Championship. And once again, it should stay as one championship. We do not need 2 world titles. We don't. There being 2 world titles, it just creates more of a detriment to the WWE product than an asset. It's more of a liability than an asset. 6 years ago, when WWE had the initial brand split, having 2 separate rosters with 2 separate world titles and 2 tag team titles and 2 women's titles, that was necessary. But after the pandemic hit and after WWE they fired all of those individuals, fired 150 individuals in the middle of April after WrestleMania. After that shit, there was absolutely no fucking need for anything regarding a brand split. No need for 2 world titles. No need for 2 tag team titles. You can keep the 2 women's titles because the women's division is more stacked than ever, but get rid of the women's tag team titles. You already got rid of the 24/7 championship. Now let's get rid of the women's tag team titles. No need for 2 world titles. The only way that I can see Bray Wyatt legitimately beating Roman Reigns is if Bray Wyatt wins the Universal Championship and Bray Wyatt runs SmackDown while Roman goes over to Raw and Roman runs Monday Night Raw. But I don't see that happening. And if it does happen, that would be more of a negative than a positive because, once again, we don't need 2 world championships. The correct individual is Cody. Now, who do I think that this idea is? I don't know. I'm leaning a little bit more towards Bray Wyatt. Now, I love Bray Wyatt, but I still don't think that's a good idea. Maybe it's Braun Breaker for all we know. Maybe they're building up Braun Breaker as monstrous and unstoppable as possible until he's legitimately ready. For all we know, Braun Breaker could fucking shock the world and win the Royal Rumble next year. I don't think he will, but for all we know, that could potentially be something that's going to come up. We don't know. But if you're asking me, who is this individual? I'm leaning a little bit more towards Bray Wyatt, even though Bray Wyatt, he does not need to be the world champion right now. Bray Wyatt is one of the most overacts in the company, and he hasn't even done anything since he's been back. He's not done anything since he's been back, and he's the most overact on SmackDown as we speak, minus Sami Zayn. He's going to a program with LA Knight right now. LA Knight is already involved in one of the most important storylines in WWE because he's being paired with Bray Wyatt. So Bray Wyatt, he doesn't need the world title right now. He doesn't. But that's who I believe that Triple H is leaning towards. Not a personal favorite of that. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all I got as far as the news, rumors, and reports go. Why don't we get into the weekly show reviews in just a little bit? But first things first, thank you all. Thank you all. You guys have been great so far. Please make sure if you haven't already done so to hit the like button and then go over to the Hardcore Sports stream and hit the like button over there. You guys have been great. It is really great just sitting here and relaxing here on a nice Saturday afternoon, talking pro wrestling and entertaining the general public that come in to watch my streams. As per usual, you guys are fantastic. So, we got Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, it was, I don't want to say it was bad. But, I mean, if you're asking me, something just feels off. I really don't know what it is. I don't know if Triple H is kind of in a little bit of a limbo stage. I'm not sure if Triple H is kind of coasting with Monday Night Raw. I'm not sure if he's pretty much given up with Monday Night Raw simply because of the fact that no one really gives a shit about pro wrestling in the November and December month period. I don't know, but the crowd especially absolutely fucking sucked. I want to say it was probably a little bit of the crowd. I want to say it was the crowd because, man, these crowds, I don't know what the fuck it is. I swear to God, we honestly need to stop going to some of these crowds. We need to stop going to these dead-end crowds in these shit cities that no one knows and no one gives a shit. We need to stop fucking going to these hick towns down in fucking Memphis, Tennessee, and fucking South Carolina. We gotta stop. We gotta fucking stop because I'm telling you, it just takes everything. The crowd is such a big factor. In making a wrestling show good, bad, great, terrible. You may as well go back to the Thunderdome outside of New York, outside of Philadelphia, outside of Miami, outside of Canada, outside of the UK, and outside of California, and maybe Dallas, Texas as well. Outside of those 7 towns, you may just stay in the Thunderdome. Seriously, you may just stay in the fucking Thunderdome. But Monday Night Raw, we did get some material on the show. We got Solo Sikoa. He came out with the Usos to address the WWE Universe. And for those of you wondering where Sami Zayn is, Sami Zayn currently right now is on a hiatus due to personal issues. So they hyped up their victory at Crown Jewel. They talked about their tag team title match on Friday against The New Day. And The New Day actually ended up coming out on Raw. And Kofi said, well, let's back it up a little bit. First of all, let's congratulate the Usos on beating the Brawling Brutes. However, let's not forget that on Friday, on SmackDown, your longest reigning WWE World Tag Team Champions will be in action. Woods was very serious. I like serious New Day. I really do like serious New Day. New Day have actually been pretty decent as of lately. So the more serious that the New Day gets, the better. Because it honestly helps the overall vibe to the show. It helps the overall vibe to the New Day character. It just makes everything flow a lot better. So New Day hyped up their match. They gave their props to the Usos. And then the Usos gave the New Day their props. Hey, we're very proud. It must be good to be the second best tag team in the WWE. Woods, and this is where the promo really started getting nitty and gritty. Woods reminded them that they are chasing the New Day. The Usos are chasing the New Day because we changed what tag team wrestling is. Y'all had people who held your hands and built your legacy for you. You built your legacy off your uncles, your fathers, and your grandfathers. We built our legacy off of our own backs. The Usos then said they don't know the pressure that they've been under. Woods then hyped up his YouTube channel and how they initially got booed. They initially got booed when they initially started as a group. So don't talk to us about pressure. That pressure turned us into diamonds. And you want to talk about diamonds? Jay goes, you want to talk about diamonds? You talking about the one that Roman Reigns smashed on the mat? Or my man Jay stomped into the mat? They reminded them, and this was great, they reminded them that they forfeited a gauntlet match on SmackDown so that way Kofi Mania could have happened. So stay at home with your kids. Kofi said, what kind of father would I be if I didn't come and I didn't show my kids how to overcome everything? We overcame an overly positive gimmick and the last time possibly that the New Day was ever going to be whole again. All of a sudden, Riddle came out. I don't know why. Riddle just completely fucking killed this entire segment right here. Riddle came out, killed this segment. He said, what's up, bro? Riddle was talking. Jay told him to shut up. Woods was then hitting Riddle's bong. He brought out fucking bongos, and Jimmy and Kofi hit the bongs. I don't know why Riddle came out. I swear. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Riddle, but it honestly feels like they're just coasting with Matt Riddle. It honestly feels like they're coasting with Matt Riddle until Randy Orton gets back. And I fucking hate that. I honestly hate that. Matt Riddle should honestly be one of the main individuals that is going to be involved in War Games. If not Kevin Owens, then it should be Matt Riddle. It's absolutely ridiculous how they just completely killed off the Matt Riddle Seth Rollins storyline for what? What happened in the main event and how Austin Theory became the dumbest fuck on the planet? Stupid. Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins should have continued their feud going into the Crown Jewel event. The fact that they didn't actually pisses me the fuck off. So Matt Riddle said that Jay hasn't been Usi. Riddle then said, let's have a six-man tag team match, yeet. So the segment between the New Day and the Usos was great. A lot of truth bombs being thrown down. Matt Riddle, I don't know why the fuck they had Matt Riddle interrupt the entire segment. Again, it just completely killed the vibe of the entire fucking show. Completely killed the vibe of the entire show. And it honestly is making Matt Riddle into a comedy clown again. It's like I'm watching Bruce Pritchard book Matt Riddle. Now, the six-man tag. This was actually very good. This was probably the best thing on the show, the six-man tag. So Matt Riddle and the New Day, they took on the Usos and Solo Sikoa. Solo struck Riddle with a right hand, and the Bloodline were in control. Riddle was then isolated. Nice hip attack by Jimmy. That got a 2 count. Riddle fought back with a big exploder for a 2. Riddle made a tag to Woods. Woods and Kofi lit up Solo. Nice double team action. Diving crossbody by Kofi. A boom drop. Belly to belly by Solo. Kofi was then sent off of the announce table. Woods then got hit with a nice clothesline as well by Solo Sikoa. Coming back from a second commercial, Kofi was isolated. Kofi then came back with a tornado DDT. He then made a tag to Matt Riddle. He lit up the Usos with a ripcord knee to Jimmy. We had a knee to Solo, exploder to Jimmy and Jay, Broton for both men, PK on Jay, powerbomb, and a final flash knee strike for a 2. So that right there was a nice combination by Riddle. We had Woods saw Riddle receive an Uso splash. Woods saved the match. Everyone got into it before Solo took out Woods and Kofi. Kofi was sent into the steps. We had a floating bro on Solo by Riddle. Suicide dive by Jimmy on Riddle. Draping DDT on Jimmy. RKO to Jimmy. Solo then came in. He was the legal man. He hit the spinning Solo on Riddle. And the Bloodline ended up getting the win. Solo Sikoa, I'm liking what Solo Sikoa is doing. Solo Sikoa is being booked very, very nicely. He is coming into his own. I'm very much liking the enforcer role that he's playing. Solid stuff here. Very good match. Probably the best thing on the show. JBL, he came out to address the Philadelphia crowd on the show. He talked about selling out great arenas, and this is not one of them. Put your chubby, woke hands together for Baron Corbin. Corbin then came out. We had a match with Corbin and Cedric Alexander. Here's what I want to know. This match legitimately went 3 minutes. So Corbin went right on the attack. Cedric came in. He hit a middle rope missile dropkick and then a neuralizer to Corbin. Cedric with a tope suicida. He went for a slingshot flatliner, but he jumped right into an end of days by Corbin, and Corbin got the win. Here's what I want to know. Here's what I'm still trying to figure out. You want to get Corbin over as the modern-day wrestling god, right? You want to put Corbin in a position where he's not unbearable, right? Why did this match go 3 minutes? Where is this notion that 3-minute matches are a good thing? This was one of at least 3 or 4 3-minute matches that we got on the entire show. Legitimately. It was fucking stupid. Why did you put Cedric out there if he was going to get squashed? Why didn't Cedric and Corbin go 15 minutes? I remember them having a great match in the 2019 King of the Ring tournament. I remember them having some great fucking matches in the past. Cedric and Corbin, they matched up very well together before. Why didn't you let them go out there and wrestle? Corbin put on 2 great back-to-back matches with Gargano and Dolph Ziggler. Why didn't you do the same with Cedric Alexander? 3-minute matches need to fucking die. And if you're going to have a 3-minute match, there should only be 1 3-minute match per show. And the 1 3-minute match that I would have accepted, which we got, was Elias and Otis. I don't know where that's going, but it's going. To be quite honest with you, I don't care. I like the Alpha Academy, but still. Corbin and Cedric should have gone 15 minutes. Major L by Hunter. Major L by Hunter. You don't put 2 full-time guys who are more than capable of having a show stealer. And yes, I'm going to include Corbin in a show stealer because him and Cedric, again, put on a fantastic match. This match should have gone 15 minutes. Stupid that it didn't. Absolutely stupid. Corbin gets the win. Another stupid thing was Seth Rollins and this segment. This segment with the U.S. Open Challenge. I don't understand why. I really don't. I don't understand why you had Seth Rollins go out there twice. Meanwhile, you didn't need Seth Rollins for this segment with the Judgment Day and the OC. But Rollins came out, welcomed to Monday Night Rollins. He said, we got some business to attend to. Back by popular demand, it's time for the United States Championship Open Challenge. So the Judgment Day came out. They surrounded the ring. Balor then entered the ring, and he said, I've got a bone to pick with you. A couple years back, you cost me gold, and now I'm going to cost you gold. All of a sudden, the OC came out. Rollins, then he's like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to see myself out. And he walked out. He walked out with his championship, with the, the crazy Seth Rollins facial expression like we usually see. And he goes, AJ Styles goes, this is far from over. Balor goes, the only thing that's over is the Judgment Day, which, by the way, he's right, by the way. Styles then said, we haven't found someone to take care of the Rhea Ripley problem yet. They found us. All of a sudden, Mia Yim, and I was actually hoping it was going to be Mia Yim, and it was. Mia Yim came out, jumped Rhea Ripley. She's got this long pigtail, blue hair look. Mia Yim came out, jumped Rhea Ripley. Mia Yim hit Rhea Ripley with a kendo stick. We got a brawl, and Mia Yim stood tall with the OC, with Mia Yim kneeling down with the kendo stick over her shoulder, and the OC doing the two sweet pose. They look good together. They look good together. So this looks to be the Survivor Series-esque tag team match that we could be getting at the Survivor Series event. I like it. I like it. I got no issue with it whatsoever. I think that this is a great move. I think this is going to be a very fun match. And this is a very good introduction for Mia Yim. I love me some Mia Yim. Mia Yim, she's gotten a lot better. And I do see her as a really, really, really solid individual that's going to bring a lot of value to the women's division, especially on Raw. Otis versus Elias. Again, 3-minute match. Why? I don't know. Enough with the 3-minute matches. We don't need that shit anymore. Full-time matches between full-time talent should be going no less than 10 minutes. So Otis tried to use his power against Elias early on. He squished him, gave him an elbow. Elias then sent Otis into the post and dropped Otis with not one, but two jumping knees, which looked great. Otis sold them beautifully. Elias then took out Gable, and Otis dropped him with a world's strongest slam, and Otis gets the win. Very basic match. Otis was the right winner. I'm happy to see Otis winning. I would actually love to see Otis in a potential United States Championship match with Seth Rollins. I'd actually love to see what Otis and Rollins could do. I think that Seth Rollins and Otis could put on a pretty decent match if they give him the time to. Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss. They came out to address the crowd. Bianca said that she's still proud to be the Raw Women's Champion. She said that this is far from over with Damage Control. Bianca then said that she had something to say, so come on out. So Damage Control came out. Dakota Kai said, nobody gives a damn that you were the last woman standing because you still haven't legitimately beaten Bayley, meaning that she hasn't pinned Bayley. But Bayley has beaten you twice. Bliss then reminded them that they only have the titles because of Nikki Cross. Now, some people were praising this shit. Some people were praising this back and forth between Asuka and Io. I saw the translation from it. I saw the translation for it. I get what they were saying, but I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this sounded good. I can't. Io sounded fine, but Asuka, she was calling Io stupid in Japanese. She was going, baka, baka, baka. She sounded like a fucking chicken. She legit sounded like a fucking chicken. Listen, I'm sorry, but if you are a foreign superstar, and I don't give a shit what people say about me here, if you're a foreign superstar and you're not in your home nation, speak English. Just fucking speak English. Seriously, I'm sorry. Asuka sounded like a fucking rooster, and Io was standing there like, what is this fucking retard saying? Or at least she was staring at her as if she she knew that she was legitimately fucking insane. I don't know what they fucking did to Asuka, but this version of Asuka has been going on since the pandemic, since they were operating out of the Performance Center. I cannot fucking stand this version of Asuka. I cannot fucking stand it. Enough. She legitimately, it's like she's a Japanese version of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Legitimately. A Japanese version of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Asuka sounding like a fucking chicken. If you are a foreign superstar and you are not in your home nation, speak fucking English. If you're fucking Roosh, then look at Roosh. Roosh speaks English. Roosh speaks English, and he speaks with conviction. Meanwhile, English wasn't his first language, but yet he speaks English just fine and cuts perfect, short, simple, decent little promos in English, and he sounds good when doing it. He has a conviction when he speaks. You're telling me an Asuka can't do the same? They're not in Japan. Speak English. Holy shit. So Io then called Asuka a bitch, which I laughed at. I thought that was funny. We got a brawl. Bianca and her girls stood tall. Bianca then said that this is war and this is ending at War Games. Nikki Cross then attacked Damage Control. She stood tall, and Bayley said, "We'll see you in War Games, Bianca." By the way, the crowd fucking sucked. Crowd sucked. Austin Theory took on Shelton Benjamin. Again, 3-minute match. 3-minute match. Benjamin took it to Theory early. Theory with a roll-through dropkick. Theory then took over. Benjamin got an ankle lock on Theory. Theory then got out. German suplex on Theory for a 2. Theory then gouged the eyes of Benjamin, hit the A-Town down, and that's it. He won. Why are we getting 3-minute matches? Why did we get 3-minute matches within the first 2 hours of Monday Night Raw? I don't know if you people realize this, but 3-minute matches, they turn the viewer off. We need 10-plus minute competitive matches, not 4, 5, 6, 7 3-minute matches on weekly television. Book your shows as if they are pay-per-views. Monday Night Raw should honestly feel like a pay-per-view every single week because of how everything is spaced out. This match should have gone 15 minutes too. We should have gotten a 15-minute match here, and we should have gotten a 15-minute match with Cedric and Corbin, but we didn't. Stupid. The Miz and Johnny Gargano. This was actually pretty bearable too. The Miz and Johnny Gargano was probably one of the best acts on the entire show. So the Miz, he took the microphone and he wanted to speak to everyone honestly. And he confirmed that Gargano's interview with Byron Saxton was 100% completely false. And it was a smear campaign. And I cannot believe I have to defend myself. Even my father believes Johnny. Miz then said he met with a Hollywood producer to tell the real story, and my lawyers are looking into putting out a defamation suit. Gargano then came out and he goes, I've always liked your dad, Miz. I've always liked your dad. So the crowd chanted Johnny Wrestling. Gargano then said he wanted to tell the truth about something he did. When I did that interview, I was hoping that Miz would tell the truth, but that didn't work. So I needed some stronger evidence against the Miz. So Gargano goes, I may have hired someone that may have gotten some of the juicy material. You know that Hollywood movie producer you had dinner with? Well, she was actually a private investigator, and she was wearing a hidden camera, and I have the footage. So they rolled the footage, and the footage showed that Miz was telling the Hollywood producer that everything that Johnny was saying was true, and how he organized everything, and he stopped paying Dexter because he's crazy. So Miz, obviously visibly pissed and visibly shocked. This was brilliant. This was brilliant. And this plays right into Johnny Gargano. I thought this was great. This was great how they played everything out. And the match itself, we shit on The Miz a lot, but hey, The Miz actually had a pretty decent match with Johnny Gargano, so I can't shit on him there. So Gargano was in control with a nice cannonball off the apron. The Miz came back with an up kick. Gargano then took over with an atomic drop and a swinging roundhouse kick. Nice neck breaker for a 2. Miz reversed the Gargano escape. We had a super kick by Gargano. Slingshot plancha over the top onto The Miz. The Miz then crotched Gargano on the barricade and super kicked him into the timekeeper's area. Coming back from commercial, Gargano mounted a comeback with a middle rope flatliner for a 2. Slingshot spear for a 2. Miz with a snap DDT. Gargano sold it beautifully. We had some back and forth kicks, some back and forth punches. We had the Miz. He countered the slingshot spear with a Busaiku knee. So Gargano went for the slingshot spear. Miz hit Gargano with a Busaiku knee for a 2 count. Now, it didn't look as good as Bryan Danielson, but hey, Miz hitting the Busaiku knee. He's trying to pull out some new shit. We had a super kick by Gargano for a 2. Tope Suicida by Gargano. The Miz was then sent into the timekeeper's desk. Miz then sent Johnny into the timekeeper's desk. Now, I got to give some credit here. The ending of this match was brilliant. The ending of this match was very creative, and I got to give some props here. So all of a sudden, the Miz was on the floor, and we saw him get dragged underneath the ring, or what we thought was the Miz getting dragged underneath the ring. The Miz came out with a turnbuckle piece, a piece of the metal turnbuckle rod in his hand. He was telling the ref, go look underneath there. It's Loomis. It's Loomis. Gargano went to attack the Miz. Miz hit Gargano with the exposed turnbuckle piece. He threw away the turnbuckle piece and covered Gargano to get the win. That was actually ingenious. The Miz faked out everyone. I thought that was great. And then afterwards, Dexter Loomis came out for real, hit Miz with a chair, and then he was run off by security. Now, the match itself, Gargano and The Miz, they did very well. The ending, very creative. But I'm sorry. No matter how decent this was, and no matter how creative that ending was, on no fucking planet, on absolutely no fucking planet, is a match with The Miz supposed to go longer than a match with Cedric, a match with Theory, a match with Shelton Benjamin. You're really having all of those guys go 3 minutes, but The Miz gets a 13-minute match with Johnny Gargano. I'm sorry. That's not something that I can get behind. Let's see. Lisa's getting a little taboo here. Listen, Lisa. I'm going to need you to tone it down a little bit. All right, babe? I mean, listen, I got no problem with that. I'm sure a lot of people won't have a problem with that, but just chill, okay? Anyway. Nikki Cross was the conquering hero of Monday Night Raw. Nikki Cross took on Dana Brooke for the 24/7 championship. Another 3-minute match. Nikki Cross won the championship, and she threw the championship in the garbage afterwards. Goodbye, 24/7 championship. God bless Nikki Cross. Main segment, the main event. Seth freaking Rollins came out for the U.S. title open challenge. Rollins then mentioned that this month marks 10 years to the day, 10 years of Seth Rollins in WWE. Rollins said he made the U.S. title the title to have on Raw, and he's ready for the open challenge. All of a sudden, Mustafa Ali comes up on the screen. All of a sudden, he's attacked by Bobby Lashley. He says that he's not going to accept your open challenge. Ali tried to fight back before he was tossed into some production crates. We go to commercial, and Bobby Lashley's coming out to accept the challenge. So we thought we were going to get Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins. Lashley said, fuck it. He didn't give a shit. He went right on the attack of Seth Rollins. The match didn't even start yet. He sent him over the barricade over and over again. Rollins then caught Lashley with a super kick. He then sent Lashley into the steps. Lashley then regained control with a ground and pound on Rollins. Rollins was sent into the post, and then Lashley put Rollins through the announce table before security and officials escorted him out. And I got a lot of shit to say about this. So let's go over this first. Austin Theory then came out. Theory then teased cashing in on Seth Rollins. He wanted to cash in, and he decided, you know what, I'm cashing in. So it was an official match. Theory went right on the attack. Theory couldn't get the job done. He kept on pinning Rollins over and over again. Rollins then got hit with a pedigree by Theory. Rollins still kicked out. Rollins then, with a powerbomb, a super kick, and a rolling elbow, Rollins went for the stomp. Theory hit A-Town down. All of a sudden, the referee gets pulled out of the ring by Bobby Lashley. Lashley then attacks Theory. The ref was down. Theory was sent into the post and into the barricade. Hurt Lock was locked in. Theory was knocked out cold. Lashley left through the crowd. The official then got back into the ring and started counting Austin Theory out. Austin Theory got back into the ring. Rollins came in with a stomp, and Rollins retained the United States title to close out Monday Night Raw. I don't want anyone to misconstrue what I'm saying or what I'm about to say. I love Triple H, and I love the fact that he's been putting a lot of effort into WWE TV, but this was an absolute fucking circus. A legitimate circus. An absolute abomination. An embarrassment. An embarrassment and a waste of everyone's time. If you want to talk about the dumbest and the worst possible way to close out a show, that right there is up there. This was undoubtedly up there with some of the worst decisions of the entire fucking year. Seriously. And before anyone says anything to me, yes, I am well aware. I am not stupid. Unlike the majority of people in the IWC, on Twitter, and in the world, I am not a retard. I am not a retard. I am well aware that Austin Theory should have never won Money in the Bank back in July. But that doesn't mean have him cash in for the United States Championship and have him lose it in the way that he did. That does not mean embarrass Austin Theory, embarrass the entire United States Championship title picture, and take your audience for retards. Let's backtrack to when Austin Theory was the United States champion. Realistically, Austin Theory should have never lost the United States Championship. Austin Theory, as we speak right now, should still be the United States Championship. Bobby Lashley did not need to win the United States title. Bobby Lashley does not need to win any championships. Bobby Lashley right now is in a position where he should be putting others over. He should be putting others over. But they gave Bobby Lashley the United States Championship, and then they decided to give Austin Theory the Money in the Bank briefcase. That was well before Vince McMahon decided to retire. That was a few weeks before Vince McMahon had no choice but to retire because of all these allegations coming out against him. Triple H could not do a single thing about that. Bobby Lashley was the United States champion, even though he didn't need to be the United States champion. And Austin Theory was Money in the Bank contract holder, even though he shouldn't be. Lashley should have never been the United States champion. However, at least with Bobby Lashley, he was actually doing some really good work with it. He was defending the United States title on weekly TV, fighting a lot of great talent in some great fucking matches. The likes of Styles, the likes of Ciampa. Hell, he even had a decent steel cage match with The Miz. He had a pretty solid match with Seth Rollins before Extreme Rules. So, all in all, Bobby Lashley as the United States champion was actually working. Bobby Lashley should have never been champion, but they actually turned the negative into a positive, and Bobby Lashley actually became a solid United States Championship title holder. Matter of fact, if you're asking me, with the work that Bobby Lashley was doing, Bobby Lashley should have never lost the United States Championship. Bobby Lashley should have taken the United States Championship into Crown Jewel to fight Brock Lesnar. With Brock Lesnar challenging for the United States Championship, it would put more of an emphasis on the United States title. It would make the United States title feel more important. It would make the United States title feel more coveted. And Lashley beating Lesnar at Crown Jewel would have put a stamp of approval on Bobby Lashley's United States Championship title reign as a reign to be taken seriously. It would have made Bobby Lashley into a bigger star. It would have made the United States Championship into a more important championship. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that. They gave the United States Championship to Seth Rollins, and the only reason why they gave the title to Seth Rollins is because Seth Rollins has been busting his ass off for all these years, and he's gone nearly 3 years without a championship. I love Seth Rollins just as much as the next guy. Did he deserve a championship? Yes, he deserved a championship, but he didn't need a championship. Rollins should have gone into a third match at Crown Jewel with Matt Riddle. We shouldn't have been talking about Omos versus Braun Strowman at Crown Jewel. That should have been reserved for Rollins and Riddle Part 3, with Riddle winning the feud decisively. But no, instead you got Riddle parading around with fucking bongos saying, "Hey bro, you want to hit my bong?" What a complete fucking waste of Matt Riddle. You wasted all those months that you built up Matt Riddle fighting Seth Rollins to shaft Matt Riddle by giving him bongos, but you gave Rollins the United States Championship when he didn't need it. So Rollins beats Bobby Lashley, who should have never beaten Austin Theory, who should have never lost the United States Championship, then has been teasing how he's going to be the youngest United States Champion and the youngest WWE Undisputed Universal Champion in history, how he's going to cash in on Roman Reigns. They even had him tease cashing in on Braun Breaker on NXT. He's going to be the youngest Undisputed World Champion, the youngest NXT World Champion in history, yada, yada, yada. So Rollins, who shouldn't be United States Champion, beats Bobby Lashley, who should have never been United States Champion, but he ended up turning a negative into a positive. Austin Theory, the man that should have never lost the United States Championship initially and should have never won Money in the Bank initially, cycles back around to the United States Championship, cashes in on Rollins because he's obviously not fucking beating Roman Reigns, cashes in on Rollins after Rollins gets the shit beat out of him by Bobby Lashley, after Bobby Lashley also embarrasses Mustafa Ali. So you embarrassed Mustafa Ali, you embarrassed Bobby Lashley, you embarrassed Austin Theory, and you made a mockery out of Seth Rollins as well. Theory cashes in. Bobby Lashley interferes. Bobby Lashley yanks the referee out of the ring. Bobby Lashley costs Austin Theory, and now Rollins retains the United States Championship, and the Money in the Bank briefcase is no more. That was the best way to make use of Austin Theory as Mr. Money in the Bank. That was the best possible way for you to go about the Money in the Bank briefcase? What a waste! What a fucking waste! So Austin Theory yet again fails, looks like a loser, and the Money in the Bank briefcase once again is wasted. It's almost as if, well, after Jon Moxley won it in 2016, it's almost like it's been cursed. It's like it's been fucking cursed. I can name you at least 3 ways, at least 3, that they could have gone about this in a different manner. You could have had Austin Theory keep the briefcase. You could have had Austin Theory hold on to that briefcase. You could have had Austin Theory hold on to that briefcase in silence. Cody Rhodes comes back like he should fucking come back, win the Rumble. He beats Roman. Austin Theory then could cash in on Cody, become the mega dick of the century, and Cody would have to go on a journey to get the title back at SummerSlam. That way, you wouldn't have wasted the briefcase. Theory would have gotten a couple of months under his belt as the world champion. Cody would have still been in the main event spotlight, and he would have gotten the title back at SummerSlam. If you didn't want to do that, I don't understand why you didn't have Austin Theory lose it in a Money in the Bank ladder match. A lot of people are saying, oh, Money in the Bank's coming back. What's going to happen here? Is Money in the Bank getting moved back to WrestleMania? If that's the case, you could have had Austin Theory lose the title at WrestleMania in a fucking ladder match. You could have put Drew McIntyre in there. Could have put Santos Escobar in there. You could have put Ricochet in there. You could have put Bobby Lashley in there. You could have put Mustafa Ali in there. Could have put Shinsuke Nakamura in there. And you could have picked someone else to take the briefcase off of Austin Theory. Or hell, some people were even saying that Austin Theory was going to cash in on Braun Breaker. Hell, I would have taken that. I would have taken that over what we got. So you wasted the Money in the Bank briefcase all because someone who shouldn't have been Mr. Money in the Bank is Mr. Money in the Bank, and you just wanted to get the briefcase off of them. Meanwhile, you didn't think about the consequences of how this would come off, about how the briefcase would look afterwards, about how Austin Theory would look afterwards. You took the title off of Bobby Lashley, who should have never been champion, put it on Seth Rollins, who should have never been champion, and you have Austin Theory, the man who should have never lost the title in the first place, cycle back around only to lose his cash-in against Seth Rollins, and everyone looks like a fucking clown. Am I losing my mind? Am I fucking losing my mind here? Please, for the love of Christ, someone tell me, what did I say that was wrong in the last 15 minutes? What did I say that was wrong? I swear to God, I don't know what they were thinking, but you could have gone about this in such a better manner. This just left such a sour fucking taste in my mouth. And it took away from some of the positive aspects on the show, like The Miz and Johnny Gargano, like the 6-man tag that opened the show, like that great promo with the New Day and the Usos, like the fact that Nikki Cross became the savior among saviors and got rid of the 24/7 title. This took away from all that positive that took place on Monday Night Raw. Is that fair? Is that fair to Johnny Gargano and The Miz? Is that fair to the Bloodline? Is that fair to Matt Riddle? Is that fair to the New Day? Is this fair to Austin Theory? Is this fair to Bobby Lashley? Yes, we're probably going to get over it by Monday. Yes, it's not going to be a long-lasting thing that we're going to be thinking about X amount of years from now. I get it. It's not going to be a thing that's going to haunt us for the rest of our life. Is this as bad as what happened with Goldberg and The Fiend? No, absolutely not. It's not. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this was the best way to go about it. If you didn't want to have Theory cash in on Cody, or you didn't want to have him cash in on Braun Breaker, then you could have just had him lose it in a fucking ladder match at WrestleMania, bringing Money in the Bank back to WrestleMania. That way the briefcase wouldn't have looked like a fucking waste. Now Theory has lost it again, and once again, Theory adds to the list of Braun Strowman. He adds to the list of Baron Corbin and Damian Sandow. all those individuals that completely wasted the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's like Triple H didn't even give a shit. He's like, oh, no, we'll wait till WrestleMania to try and rebuild the prestige for Money in the Bank. I saw a poll made by Earl Cole, shout out to him, on Twitter, saying, should WWE retire the Money in the Bank concept? Honest to God, if this is what we're going to be subjected to, then you know what? It's probably best that they do. It's probably best that they do. The surprise factor has been killed, and even under Triple H, it's like the more things change, the more things stay the same. I realize that not everything's going to be fixed on the spot, but I mean, holy shit. Holy shit. This was a fucking embarrassment. This was an absolute embarrassment. It's legitimately like I was over at the Izod. I remember going to the Izod Center when I was a kid, and there was like some weird ass circus over there. I can't remember what it was. It was called some like the Dragon Circus or something like that. And there was fucking clowns spraying water at each other and tripping over their own fucking shoelaces and throwing pies in each other's faces. Legitimately typical clown shit that you would see at a circus. That's exactly what I saw here. A fucking clusterfuck. A legit clusterfuck. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. I don't think I've ranted that much in a long, long time. They could have gone about that so much better. And I'd like to hope that I shed some light on the entire situation and I educated you in a decent amount of ways. I'd like to hope that the last 20 minutes has educated you and now you're all leaving this stream smarter than you were going into it. That was Raw. That was Raw for you. Once again, no Dynamite review because I did review it with Earl Cole. So if you want to go check that out, go check out the link in the description. Glad you guys enjoyed my rant. So let us switch over to SmackDown. Let's switch over to SmackDown. SmackDown, on the other hand, was actually very good. SmackDown actually had a lot of material that set up Survivor Series very nicely. So we started off with the Usos and the New Day. This is for the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. And we got ourselves a fantastic match. Usos and the New Day, as per usual, they always put on good matches, if we're going to be real. So, the New Day, they were in control early on. Coming back from commercial, Kofi was isolated. Kofi tried to fight back. Kofi, then he went to go tag in Woods. And Xavier Woods was pulled off the apron. By Jimmy Uso, I believe it was. Jay hit a back suplex neck breaker on Kofi. That got a 2 count. Kofi was still isolated, coming back from a second commercial. And we had Kofi finally tagging in Woods. Woods then lit up both Usos, rolling elbow to Jay. Clothesline in the corner, side Russian leg sweep on Jay, gutbuster to Jimmy, that got a 2. We had a diving leg drop by Woods off the top rope, that got a 2 count. Boom drop by Kofi and an SOS, that got a 2. Double super kicks to Woods and Kofi, tag to Jay. They went up top for the double loose, and the double loose connects, but Woods still kicked out. Kingston then sent Jay into the steps. New Day with the daybreak to Jey Uso on the floor. Jay was out for the time being. Woods with a tornado DDT on Jimmy. Jey Uso then saved it. We had a 4-man face-off. We had super kicks by Woods, or to Woods by Jay. Woods was then sent into the timekeeper's area. Kofi jumped off the top. He was looking for a crossbody. He jumped right into a mid-air 1D. One and done. And the Usos win what was a fantastic match. Kick off the show. And the Usos are the longest reigning SmackDown and undisputed tag team champions of all time. And I have no problem with the fact that they are the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. And it is a much easier pill to swallow than the New Day. That's for sure. So from there, fantastic match. We go into the SmackDown World Cup. And I'm very happy that they're doing this because this right here is exactly what we need in terms of competitive action. And it puts more of an emphasis on championships. The winner of this match and the entire tournament will receive a Intercontinental Championship title match. So the first match was Shinsuke Nakamura and Santos Escobar. This was a first-round matchup in the SmackDown World Cup. They matched up pretty well together. And if you're asking me, I would love to see more from these two. So Escobar got hit with a diving knee off the apron by Shinsuke. Coming back from commercial, Nakamura with a sliding German suplex. That got a 2. Back and forth strikes by both men. Diving knee off the middle rope by Nakamura for a 2. We had a V-trigger by Escobar. Reverse exploder by Nakamura. Cruz del Toro was then taken out. Nakamura with a spinning enziguri. Joaquin Wilde was then taken out as well. Escobar had Nakamura up top, and he delivered a super phantom driver off the top, and Escobar advances in the tournament. Escobar, I can definitely see him going all the way to the finals. I would love to see what Escobar could do against guys like a Ricochet or an Ali or a Strowman. I think that Escobar in this position, I think this is a great role for him. Great. From there, we go into a little face-off between Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. And LA Knight, he had a very nice back and forth with Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt was talking about how far LA Knight was willing to go to be remembered. And LA Knight goes, listen, I'm not sure what's going on with you or what's going on with your little identity crisis, but go to the back, find your fucking puppets. Find your puppets and stick them wherever you may find pleasure. I'm not going to judge, but remember, whose game is it? It's LA Knight's game. Bray Wyatt then headbutted LA Knight, and it looks like that could be Bray Wyatt's first major program. I have no problem with it. I like it. I oddly like it. It's something that I didn't have on my bingo wrestling card for 2022, but I'm liking where this is going. I think that that's a great program for both men. I think that the promos between those two are going to be great. Really. We had a number one contenders six-pack challenge to see who was going to fight Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. We had Liv Morgan, Shotzi, Raquel Gonzalez, Lacey Evans, and Xia Li, and Sonya Deville. So this was chaos right out of the gate. Morgan was then sent into the steps. Sonya tried to gain an advantage early. Coming back from commercial, Morgan looked pretty decent here. Morgan's been stepping it up a little bit, I will say that. Morgan, she hit a missile drop kick from the middle rope and then a kip up. DDT on Raquel. Deville tried to steal the win. We had a neck breaker on Sonya by Shotzi. Tahana bomb, but Deville saved it. Morgan then jumped off the barricade onto the pile. Morgan, she took out everyone. It didn't look good. It actually looked pretty nasty. She crashed right into a table set up at ringside. The table didn't break. Back in the ring, Shotzi hit Never Wake Up, and she ended up winning the match, and she gets the match with Ronda at Survivor Series. This was not anything special. Probably the most skippable thing on the show. I'm happy for Shotzi, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy that Shotzi's getting the opportunity, but if we're going to be honest here, this is nothing more than an interim program for Ronda to get through Survivor Series, because in the end, we are building towards Ronda and Shayna, with Shayna inevitably taking the title off of Ronda Rousey. That's it. That's all we're building towards. Braun Strowman Braun Strowman and Jinder Mahal. This was another SmackDown World Cup first round. This was quick. This was very quick. This was very easy. This was painless. Now, these two individuals are probably the two weakest professional wrestlers in the tournament. But I will give a little credit where credit's due. Jinder Mahal, for the 2 minutes that this match went, I did not have an issue with what Mahal did. Oddly enough, I don't know what it was, but Jinder Mahal was actually moving fairly fluidly. He wasn't, when Jinder Mahal wrestles, it's almost like he wrestles as if he's made of granite, as if he's made of stone. He was a lot more fluid in this match. He had crisp offense. He was delivering super kicks. He was bouncing off the ropes pretty fluidly, drop kicks down to the knee. He had a nice rising knee to Strowman. I didn't have an issue with what Jinder Mahal did. Now, if Jinder Mahal could keep up that pace going forward, maybe I won't have an issue with Jinder Mahal. But in the end here, Strowman, he hit Jinder with a shoulder tackle. He did his Strowman Express run, the stupid Express. And then he beat Jinder Mahal with a powerbomb, and he advances to the semifinals. And that was it. That was it. And I'm assuming that this World Cup is going to take place at Survivor Series. But Braun Strowman wins. I'm actually kind of hoping that he loses to one of the flippy floppy floopers that he was talking about. Really, I actually hope that he loses to one of these flippy floppers. But in all honesty, I think that Braun Strowman winning wouldn't be a bad thing, because Strowman and Gunther sounds like a pretty intriguing matchup. I'll be honest. B-Fab and Hit Row came out. B-Fab was going to wrestle Zelina Vega. All of a sudden, the Viking Raiders returned. They came out with Sarah Logan. Zelina Vega, she ran off, and the Viking Raiders laid waste to everyone. They took out Hit Row and Legado del Fantasma. We had a big splash by Ivar on Ashante the Adonis and a double powerbomb to Top Dollar. And Sarah Logan delivered a pop-up headbutt to B-Fab. She looked great. Sarah Logan looked awesome. And this is the perfect role for Sarah Logan, being the managerial figure to the Viking Raiders and having the Viking Raiders do the in-ring work. This is a great thing. Main segment. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline came out to handle some business. Heyman hyped up everyone in the Bloodline like only he does. Roman then talked about how he wants to acknowledge the Usos before Ridge and Butch interrupted. And we ended up getting a brawl with the Brawling Brutes. Sheamus did return. He said that tonight is the start of the end of the Bloodline. We got a big brawl. And then Drew McIntyre came out. He cleared house. And the show ended with all of the individuals brawling. And it looks like it will indeed be a 5-on-5 War Games match. I don't know who the fifth member is going to be on the babyface side, excuse me. But I do believe it's probably going to be Kevin Owens. Considering if Sammy's involved in the match, then Kevin Owens is going to be involved in the match. That's how I see things playing out. But I like it. I like it. I like it. I think that this is a great move. I honestly think this is a great move. And I do believe that we will see the babyfaces inevitably get the win inside War Games. And I do believe we will be building towards Sheamus versus Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. SmackDown, very good show. I'll tell you what else was a very good show. Rampage. Rampage was very good too. Rampage was not live, but it was still a very good show. We started off with Christian Cage and Luchasaurus coming out. They waited for Jungle Boy to come out. Jungle Boy indeed came out. Cage said that Jack Perry must be from Boston because he thinks he's smart and you think that you're a tough guy. I love Christian Cage. Fuck Boston. Boston sucks. So Jungle Boy then said, you know, you're complaining about one match that I cost Luchasaurus. You're complaining about one match when you two have cost me everything. My friendships, 2 important matches. You wasted, and he looked at Luchasaurus and he goes, you wasted 3 years of my life. You wasted 3 years of my life. And I will never get them back. You two have stacked all the odds against me. Well, I'm going to take that power away, and I'm going to stack all the odds against myself. I want you, Luchasaurus, one more time inside of a steel cage. Cage then said, you know what? I want you to make sure that your family, your mother is ringside, just like she is with all the pay-per-views. Cage then said, maybe you're realizing that you're not as good as you think you are. You're not a pillar. We're going to put you down for good. And just like your father, you are all looks. Christian then went after Jungle Boy went after Christian Cage. Luchasaurus attacked him. Christian brought in a chair, and Luchasaurus chokeslammed Jungle Boy on the steel chair. Luchasaurus and Christian Cage stood tall, and we got ourselves a steel cage match for Full Gear. I like it. I'm liking it. And I honestly do believe that Jungle Boy is probably going to win that. If he doesn't win, I'm not going to be mad because Luchasaurus has been doing some great work. But hey, if Jungle Boy wins, I got no issue with that. I got no issue with that at all. I actually think that this feud has been great. The matches have been great. And Luchasaurus, this has kind of been Luchasaurus's coming out party as well. It's kind of been Luchasaurus's coming out party. And I do believe that Luchasaurus is going to be taken to the next level, win, lose, or draw in this match. I'm very much looking forward to this steel cage match. Brian Cage. He took on Dante Martin in an AEW World Championship Eliminator first round matchup. This was very good. Very good. These two matched up very well together. Dante was using his quickness against Cage early on. Cage caught Martin on a dive through the ropes. This was great. Dante Martin with a suicide dive through the ropes. Brian Cage caught him in a suplex position and delivered a suplex onto the floor. Coming back from commercial, Dante then countered the F5 by Brian Cage into a DDT. Dante with some stiff elbows. Dante with a diving crossbody for a 2. Dante with a springboard dive to the floor on Cage. Big frog splash in the ring for a 2. Big enziguri by Dante. 450 miss. Discus lariat by Cage. And then a swinging full Nelson slam, which looked awesome. That looked awesome. Dante kicked out. We had a gory special flatliner, and Cage ended up winning the match. He advanced in the tournament over Dante Martin. Very good match. And that was it. A very good match between two very good pro wrestlers. And Brian Cage, he advances to the semifinals, and I do believe he will indeed be fighting Ricky Starks. I think Ricky Starks is going to beat Lance Archer some way, somehow. Bandito. Love me some Bandito. Bandito. He took on Rush El Toro Blanco. AEW World Championship Eliminator first round. Rush attacked Bandito before the bell. He actually used a cable cord against him. Rush with a stiff drop kick. Bandito came back with a huge spaceman plancha. Big frog splash. Big frog splash by Bandito. Bandito is so fucking good, I'm telling you. He's so amazing. So, frog splash by Bandito. Rush kicked out. Rush then with some stiff slaps and a kick. Discus elbow, he took over. Single leg drop kick off the top by Rush for a 2. Bandito with a beautiful military press slam for a 2. JR was selling it on commentary. Spin heel kick. Great shit. Spin heel kick by Rush. Both men were down. Rush with a pile driver. Bandito kicked out. All of a sudden, John Silver came out. He took out Jose the assistant. And Bandito rolled up Rush for the win. Bandito rolled up Roosh for the win, and that was it. So Roosh does not advance, and Bandito is moving on to fight Ethan Page. Ethan Page, and that right there is going to be awesome. That's going to be fucking great. Ethan Page has come out a lot too, and I think Ethan Page is going to go to the finals, but man, Bandito and Ethan Page, sign me the fuck up. And the finals are going to look great too. I honestly think Ricky Starks is taking the whole tournament. I honestly believe that Ricky Starks is going to be MJF's first opponent after MJF wins the World Championship, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Another very good match. The World Title Eliminator. It's the World Title Eliminator and the Owen Hart Cup tournaments that have been the top two best tournaments that AEW has ever produced. I've been loving it. Nyla Rose, she took on Kayla Sparks. Nyla Rose won with a Jaded. So she was mocking Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill came out afterwards with security, holding her back. And obviously this is leading to Jade Cargill beating Nyla Rose at Full Gear, which she should. I don't really give a shit about this match. I hope that Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill are going to shock us. I hope that they'll shock us, but, we'll see. Main event, Lee Johnson and Orange Cassidy, All-Atlantic Championship. The All-Atlantic Championship is getting a lot of spotlight on AEW TV. I have no problem with that. It's a beautiful-looking title, and Orange Cassidy is great. Lee Johnson took over with a nice drop kick. Orange Cassidy then sent Lee into the turnbuckle pads before Nick Camarado sent Cassidy over the barricade. Coming back from commercial, Lee was in control with a nice suplex. Orange Cassidy and Lee Johnson with a double clothesline. Both men are down. So both men were down there. We had Cassidy sending Lee over the top rope into Nick Camarado. Cassidy with a springboard, rolling senton, almost like a springboard floating bro, onto Camarado and Johnson. Diving clothesline, or not clothesline, diving crossbody into the ring. Cassidy went for the satellite DDT. He went for the satellite DDT, and Lee Johnson countered with a beautiful Blue Thunder Bomb. I love Lee Johnson's Blue Thunder Bomb. It looks gorgeous. Beautiful Blue Thunder Bomb. Trent then speared Camarado. Chuck Taylor then took out QT and Cole Carter. Satellite DDT by Orange Cassidy. Lee popped back up. Super kick. Cassidy then hit the beach break, and he won. Lee looked okay. Lee looked all right. And Cassidy gets another successful victory. And in the end, Cole Carter, he got a triple powerbomb by the Best Friends for his troubles. And that was it. That was pretty much it. So it seems like Orange Cassidy is being built up quite nicely. I'm not sure where he goes as far as the All-Atlantic Championship goes, but I do believe that it is going to be a pretty solid, and I mean a pretty solid All-Atlantic title reign for Orange Cassidy. He's not short of challengers. If you're asking me, I want to see Orange Cassidy and Roosh go at it. I want to see Orange Cassidy and Roosh go at it. Maybe Bandito. Maybe Bandito gets involved. Who knows? But ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. You guys have been awesome. Thank you very much for spending your Saturday afternoons with me as per usual. You guys are great. Please make sure that you like, that you comment, that you subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. Please make sure that you set your calendar dates. We got a lot of great material coming to you, including the rundown for AEW Full Gear with All Elite Mikey next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. No LFU for the next 2 weeks, but I will be back with the LFU on December 3rd. Please make sure that you set your calendar dates for the rewind for AEW Full Gear with Antonio Carrium, Wrestling Express OG. So shout out to Antonio. And then, of course, Tuesday the 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Please make sure you set your calendar dates because Raging Girl Gamer, for the very first time ever, this is her first ever podcast She's coming on my show, and we are going to dissect everything, and I mean everything Survivor Series related. We're previewing and predicting everything. It is going to be great. So you guys, I want you guys to be set and ready for some great content, because this is only the beginning. November has been a banging month for the DJ Storms brand. I hope you guys have been enjoying everything I've been doing. And once again, the next 2 weeks I will be with family. I'm going to be in New York City next week for a Christmas show, and then I'll be away for Thanksgiving week down the shore. So I'm going to be chilling. I'm going to be relaxing. It's going to be good. It's going to be chill for me, and I will be back with the LFU on December 3rd. You guys can hang tight. Do not worry. I know you're going to miss me. I know you're going to. I know, Lisa. I know, Lisa. I mean, everyone misses me. Everyone misses me because I'm just that fucking good. I know. It's impossible to live without DJ Storms, but I'm sure you guys can manage. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, I am DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. I thank all of you, as per usual. You make this all worthwhile for me. But one last thing before we get on out of here. I want to know, baby. I want to know who runs the IWC. Who runs it? Everyone better say it. Who runs the IWC? Oh, wait. I'll tell ya who runs the IWC. Who but DJ motherfucking Storms. And don't you forget it.